Giving all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAKWADASH. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of great millstone and the sincere shalom to the Achanis out there pushing the sincerity and the truth and the sound doctrine. This is going to be a really quick video, extremely quick video. This is a video put up by GMS South Carolina 08, Elder Manat Zatba. And he's doing a response off of this video, where it's how to confound Hebrew Israelites. Now, this is not the first time we've seen this. You know, I've probably seen this at least five, maybe six times by now, man. They got whole books on how to confound Hebrew Israelites. But the thing with us, you know, is number one, what people don't understand is not all Hebrew Israelites are the same. All right, you have some Hebrew Israelites that are more Christian based than others. You have some Israelites that are more radical than others. All right. So this whole thing on how to confound a Hebrew Israelite, that's not going to work anyway. You know, if you follow this guy's advice, and if the Hebrew Israelite is not really learned like that, then maybe, just maybe, it'll work. Maybe. I don't know. But it's not going to work like that. You know, see, with us, we understand not all people are the same. So some Christians may have different beliefs than others. You got some Christians that are more learned than others, and that's what we go with. When somebody comes up to us, we don't have a big pamphlet on how to confound a Christian. All right, if they come up to us, you know, we go with the spirit. You know, we don't make it hard. Right? It is what it is. You know, if a Christian is more learned than certain others, well, we'll go in that direction. So it all depends on what direction it goes in. You know, you got some people that are kind of like hybrid Christian. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to explain, but I mean, kind of hard to explain, but it's a little strange, right? You got some that are maybe believe in a Christian kind of faith, but don't really believe in not really Christian. So, like I said, when you out there, you know, with us, when we out there, we're very versatile, man. You know, we're very flexible, right? And we will go any direction that you go. You know, with these guys, you know, with this guy here, he set up the little camera. I wonder how many takes it took him to get these shots just right, right? Us, we don't have to us at Great Millstone specifically. I'm not speaking for other Israelite camps, because you got other Israelites that'll do exactly what this guy is doing. Set up the shots, you know, make it cinematic, you know. All right, take two, action. And then, you know, so called. You know, I mean, you got a lot of AMC Israelites, right? So, but us at Great Millstone specifically, we don't do all that. You know, even just doing these videos, we don't do all that, man. No rehearsal is needed, man. You just go out there, you pray to the Lord, and go in the spirit, right? But how to confound an Hebrew Israelite? The whole Bible confounds you Christians, right? Why are you not using the word of God to confound us, man? Why you gotta rely on somebody to sit up there and another book to sit up there and say, yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you confound those Hebrew Israelites. Instead of telling the Christians, well, study more. And maybe, just maybe, you might have a chance. Which you don't, because the Bible confounds you. But if you were serious, you would say, hey, study more. Right? If we see a brother get confounded by a Christian, or so-called confounded by a Christian, or get caught, well, there are ways to deal with that. But one thing we say, study more. That's a simple answer. Study more. Right? Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. This comes to show you how faithless Christians are. To sit up there and need videos on how to confound us. And I looked at the beginning of it, you know, and he was going into, you know, a rude speech, and then he was talking about how disrespectful or whatever. We're not talking about disrespect. Are you talking about the disrespect factor, or doctrine? Right? Anyway, Hebrews chapter 4, verse 12. It says, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword. Right. if you Christians really believed in, and stop worrying so much about your emotions and thought about, oh man, those guys, they spoke to me all disrespectful and stuff like that. No, number one, man, every Christian that came to us, and it was on some disrespectful stuff, they started. You could look at all our videos. They come up to us and are disrespectful, over talking us, or should I say, try to over talk us. Sometimes they come up to these. Sometimes they come up to us and try to provoke us. Hell, we had a Christian attack us, right? Which was for whatever reason reposted, But we had a Christian actually attack us, right? And we didn't do anything to this guy. He came up one more. He came up in the morning, and we was having our conversation before we even started. And we thought that he was praising us. He had his hand out. We thought he was praying, praying and praising us. So we was like, hey man, how you doing? And he sat up there and said, man, don't talk to me, man, don't talk to me. We was like, all right, that's a demon. Let's leave it alone. Next thing you know, later towards the end of camp, he came up to us, ran up on us, playing this loud music, and we was going to leave him alone because we ignore stuff like that. We was going to leave him alone. Next thing you know, he ran up on us, and the brothers had to fold him up, man. Right? Brothers had to fold him up. There's no explanation needed. We don't owe you people an explanation. Right? So it says, for the word of God is quicker than any two-edged sword. So use the word of God. Tell your fellow Christians to go ahead and pray. Pray more and study more. You want to confound it so much? Well, study more, I guess. But you can't. So this is why you have to resort to videos like that, right? How to confound an Hebrew Israelite. You know how we confound you Christians? The word of God. The word of God cuts you. All right. It says, for the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and the joints of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. So how do you confound an Hebrew Israelite? I'll give you the answer. I already gave it to you. Study more. Something that you Christians don't like doing. Study more. Look up words. And this dude tried to go into the Greek. Right? And talk about, yeah, this is the definition of the word rude and this, that, and the other. Are you people really that much in your feelings, man? Oh, man, they are so disrespectful. Are we talk about doctrine, or are we talking about your personal feelings? Right? Now you want to try to go into Greek and words that we already know? Again, this whole thing about how to confound a Hebrew Israelite, you got a lot of Hebrew Israelite groups out there that are different, and that's not going to work. Meanwhile, you Christians, always, like I said, whether you're a little learned or whether you're a little dumber, right? We will go in any direction using the Bible, using our knowledge that we use in the faith of the Lord. But again, this comes to show you how faithless you Christians are. So what you're doing is you're prepping your fellow Christians, or here's a better idea. Don't bother with the Hebrew Israelites in general. All he said up there is say, yeah, if you're enjoying your day, you're enjoying your night, you may come into contact with the Hebrew Israelites and this, that, and the other. Ignore us then, right? Ignore us then. I mean, if you feel that bad, ignore us then. There's so many things that I could say, man. Really, I don't know what the hell to say. I mean, just ignore us then. I don't know. All right. And anyway, like I said, I just wanted to do this quick video. It would have been out this out, but I already, went into it already. I just wanted to do this quick video just to show you how faithless Christians are, man. And this is actually just pathetic. How to confound a Hebrew Israelite. I mean, you're going through these lengths instead of just telling your fellow Christians to study more or just ignore them like we do. you know, Christian gets belligerent and stuff like that, well, ignore him. You know, call the police on him and stuff like that. That's what we do now. You know, that's what we do now. And for whatever reason, y'all have a problem with that. Although y'all have no problem calling the police on us. But when we call the police on you, now it's a problem. You know, I don't know. Anyway, giving all praise, honor, glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, RACHAK WADASH. That's all I got on this. Shalom.